Yo, what's good, family, everybody? Welcome to the stream. If you're new here, my name is Randy C. Mays, and this stream is about building brands, entrepreneurship, streetwear, content creation, YouTube growth, and the real behind the scenes grind of turning ideas into an actual business. We're going to talk about building my brand. Jesus is my plug. I don't know if you can see it there. Developing HypeHunt, which is going to be a sneaker streetwear type of app. Growing on YouTube and social media. Marketing strategies, product drops, branding, business wins, the mistakes that I've made, and whatever other questions that you have on this live. This isn't fake guru talk. We're actually building a brand in real time. So tap in, say what's up in the chat, and let me know where you all are watching from. And so today, man, I went to one of my favorite lounges that I like to kind of hang out and kind of study and kind of read at. And one of my friends kind of asked me what made me get into merch and merchandising and trying to build a brand and come up with a brand. So I had to sit and think about it because I've had this conversation with people before, but now as the brand is starting to grow, as I've become more consistent with it, defining my story is actually vital because people don't necessarily buy into a product. People buy into a message, like the heart behind a product. So this is why like donation t-shirts work, right? So if somebody knows that if their t-shirt is going to go help feed a kid in a foreign country, that's something they can get behind. That may be something that they believe in. So they may not be crazy about the actual shirt design or exactly what you're doing, but they can buy into the messaging behind what you're doing. So that's kind of my objective and my goal, is to get people to buy into the brand and kind of what the messaging is with this brand. So the brand of Jesus is my plug. As you can see here, this is our site. This is what's called the hero page. Anything above the fold. So when people first go to the site, they go to jesusismyplug.net. This is what they're going to see. So they're going to see a couple of models here. You got the Jesus My Plug across the front. These are shirts that we do have available at jesusismyplug.net. This is what the brand is. Faith meets streetwear. We don't want people wearing kind of um, the goofy t-shirts to church. We want people to still be able to be fly, be fashionable, and represent something that means something. So Jesus is my plug. So this is the shirt here. Got that going. Scroll down a little bit. This is one of our hottest selling jackets that we have here. This is the black workman jacket. Literally, we're on our second order. We'll be doing our third order here pretty soon, but these are almost sold out. Only a few of these left. A few of the items. Wear your faith without saying a word. Our designs crafted to inspire curiosity, start meaningful conversations, and boldly reflect your walk with Jesus, all while staying stylish and comfortable. So basically, the idea is everybody's not the typical evangelist, right? Everybody doesn't really go out and is comfortable screaming the name Jesus Christ at the top of their lungs, especially for newer believers. But most people are comfortable with talking about an item of clothing that they have. So grab one of these shirts, you're out in the grocery store, you're in line, somebody turns around, they read your shirt, Jesus my plug, they want to know what that is. So it's pretty cool to have a conversation with a stranger that you may not have otherwise had if you wouldn't have had the shirt on. And you don't know. Somebody may take that shirt, and it may lead to the conversation, and they may end up accepting Christ. You never know what really happens, and we don't really know how God works. But um, this is ultimately what the brand is, and what the brand is about, is to get people to have conversations about Christ that they wouldn't otherwise have. And a lot of times with the culture and like the society that we live in, a lot of people have no problem at all talking about God. Everybody believes in God. Some people talk about the universe. Some people talk about being spiritual. But ultimately, we know as believers that nobody has access to God without Jesus Christ at all. So you have to include Jesus in the mix. God is dope, all of that, no shade, but Jesus is the plug. And so that is what this brand is about. Jesus is my plug. So Jesus is my plug.net. I built this. The idea for the brand came to me probably in 2016. I was watching the Super Bowl, super random thought, hanging out with friends, and I literally blurted out, Jesus is my plug. And so about 2 years later, 2018, I printed my first sample shirt and was able to sell out of my first shirts. Um, Was super inconsistent after that. Didn't really stick with it. But over the last year or two, I've been really consistent. I've put out new staple pieces. Let me see. I'm gonna actually go to the jacket so y'all can kind of see a few more pictures of it. But this jacket here is one of our staple pieces. Um, I don't know what that's about. Here we go. And it did really, really well online. Um, I actually sold out of the first order in one weekend, so that was pretty cool. That's when I kind of knew I was on to something. We got scriptures here. This is our signature lighting bolt here. Jesus my plug. One of our newer designs here. I wore mine. Just put it on some leather pants. Throwing the Alexander McQueen's my favorite sneakers. Just kind of rocked it that way. Yeah, this is definitely one of my favorite jackets to wear. It's just a really fun piece. Definitely gonna be a conversation starter. Here's one of the Letterman jackets that we did. I think I literally only have one of these left. I did it a few years ago. We sold out of these as well. Uh, just got the J on the front for Jesus. On the back, Jesus my plug. This is our classic original logo. So it has Jesus and the cursive here, plug over here to the right. So some of the details on that jacket, super, super cool piece as well. And we're not going to restock that jacket. It's run its course. Do not conform graphic tee. Really, really cool shirt. Jesus my plug. Let's see if we can. There we go. This is a better shot of it. Do not conform to this world. This is Romans 12:2. The scripture says, do not conform to this world, but be renewed by the transforming of your mind, that by testing I may discern the will of God, what is good and acceptable and perfect. So that's actually my banner verse. So I kind of included that in the shirt. Jesus my plug across the front. Praying hands, the word of God here. John 14:6, which is the verse that I was telling you all about that says no one has access to the Father but through the Son. Love here, rings here. Yeah, so you can kind of wear it. I kind of like how they styled it here. They just put it on with a shirt around the neck, ripped jeans, a pair of sneakers. They rocked the scully with theirs and a chain around the neck. So this was a really fun shirt to design. They did a really good, really, really great job on it. Yeah, this is, I think, I don't know. We've reordered these shirts 3 or 4 times. This is the shirt that I'm actually wearing right now. The new Jesus my plug, just the writing across the front here. Really cool design. Just a crew neck sweater. How I normally wear mine is I normally put a collar shirt underneath it. You can wear it with slacks. You can dress it up. You can dress it down. Put it on with jeans. You can wear it with shorts. However you decide to rock it today. I just put it on. It was a little warm. Let the sleeves up. Rocked it like that. Watch. I had a bracelet on earlier. And you can just kind of rock it that way. They did theirs with just jeans, skinny jeans. He went baggy jeans. She went boots. He went sneakers. Doesn't really matter how you wear it. But mainly when you build the most difficult part about building a brand is number one, consistency. Number two, I would say the social media and the marketing part. You're competing against so many different brands that are all doing the same thing that you're trying to do. So it can be intimidating at times. You kind of feel like you're getting lost in the sauce. So every time you put up a post, you're competing literally against a million different other posts. So you have to kind of find other ways, strategies to kind of build your core community and your core group of people. So there really are a lot of people who are just really, really good at marketing. So you're competing against Facebook ads. You have influencer marketing where you send your merch to different influencers and you allow them to wear the merch, and then they kind of tag you, shout you out, and if they're trendy enough and they have enough influence, that usually increases your site traffic. So in the church world, in Christianity, it's a little different. You want it in the hands of pastors, worship leaders across the country, but they may not have as many influences. They may not have as big an influence as like your influencers, right? So your rappers, your hip hop artists, your models, and all that stuff like that. So you just have to kind of find what strategy what strategy works best for you. If you're in the chat, let me know where you are streaming from. I appreciate you for tuning in. This is Randy C. Mays. We're talking brands, marketing, how I'm building my brand, um, and all of that good stuff. So thanks for tuning in. Let's see what we got. Okay. All right. So recently we came on and we dropped this shirt, which is just an amazing piece. I really enjoyed creating this piece. So we used some of the same designs that we did for the jacket. The jacket the jacket is doing really well, sorry. And we kind of just came and dropped something similar, right? So this is the work shirt. It's like if I could compare it to anything, it would be like the Dickie style material, but it's really high quality material, real heavyweight. I actually sent mine to the cleaner, so I got it good and pressed. And man, I mean, it was just a super fire look. I kind of put it on with like the cargo style pants, and I mean, it was just a really fire type look. Put it on some sneakers. This is JesusMyPlug.net. And man, it was really a deal. So I did this video. Let's see if I can find it really quick on YouTube. And I want y'all to check it out. Check it out. This kind of gives the heart of it, right? So it's that really like rugged type look. The back here, Jesus My Plug, the white and bold to show the power. Jesus My Plug. This is called the Workman shirt, the approved Workman shirt, and the JesusMyPlug.net. So we'll watch it one more time. You can style this how you want. It's more of like a crop fit, so you can wear it open with a tank top underneath. You can put a t-shirt on underneath it, man. You can really just rock out. You won't find many people with this shirt. Only did a limited run of 50 of these. And again,
the Workman jacket was designed to represent discipline, calling, and craftsmanship. It's more than apparel. It's a symbol of devotion, built for those who serve, lead, and live unashamed of their faith. This piece embodies what it means to be a workman of...
Let's get back to the site. So, yep, this is the approved Workman shirt, man. Super fire shirt, man. The details on this, it's embroidery on the back that is not screen print, so you don't have to worry about it peeling off. So everything is embroidered. We went all that on the details. We went long on the sleeves. So this is a really fire look, fire shirt. Man, you kind of want to have different pieces. Like I started out doing just like all t-shirts. And with t-shirts, man, you're competing against a really big market because everybody sells t-shirts. Every Christian brand has t-shirts. So it's a little different. It's a little different with so I definitely wanted to come with something a lot different. And so I wanted to do this shirt. It's the Dickie style. You can throw it on with pants. You can throw it on with Dickies. Somebody wore those to church yesterday with a pair of Dickies. Really fire look. The grays matched up perfectly with some white sneakers. So yeah, this is definitely something that you want in your closet for sure. Give me a second. Let's check this out. What is this? Yep, so welcome to the stream. We talking how I build my clothing brand, the highs, the lows, the good, the bad. One of the worst parts about that I would say about owning a clothing brand is having to deal with just different factors and manufacturers. Like, is you're kind of working on their timeline. You have people waiting on merch. You have people waiting on merch, and you want to get people their stuff on time. You want to be able to move with speed, but if the factory shuts down for a holiday or whatever else that they have going on, different cultures that you're having to deal with, then you just kind of stuck. And that's literally one of the worst parts about having a clothing brand. Sometimes you have language barriers. They don't necessarily use PayPal, so you may have to send money, and then your money's not necessarily protected. So, and I have been stiffed. I've paid a deposit before and never received my merch. So that's like one of the worst things in dealing with like the clothing space is you communicate with sometimes people in different countries. If you're looking at building a brand, hit me in the chat. I'm open to sharing manufacturers, all the details. I'm good and open with doing one-on-ones with you to help you build your brand, coming up with your mission, helping you build your website, getting your sample pieces ordered, doing your first bulk order. I'm definitely down to help you guys do that, man. I really don't hold on to information. There's enough success out here for all of us, so I'm definitely down to help people do that as well. Again, my brand is Jesus, my plug, Christian clothes and streetwear. Another avenue that I've just recently entered into that a lot of people are not really familiar with is dealing with Whatnot. Whatnot is a really cool platform. Let's see if I can get to it. Not necessarily. I'm gonna go to my dashboard. But anyway, Whatnot is a pretty cool platform that you can actually use to sell your products. So all of these are different sellers who do live shows. Um, who do live shows. So you can kind of just go in, you can jump into a show, and they literally show you the items. Your card info is already in, so you can click, you can make a purchase, and it's a really cool platform. So I've done two to
$50.
three shows on here with my
Oh my
merch,
gosh.
and I've had some pretty good success so far in doing it. But you have to kind of develop your own style. This guy here looks like he's selling sneakers. Another thing, though, a lot of people do sell, I don't know, I'm not saying this guy's selling fake stuff, but a lot of people get on here selling fake sneakers, which is not cool at all. We'll go back to this. We'll go back to the homepage. But anyway, we'll go here. Hold on real quick. My camera went down. Alright, we back chat. I recommend getting you like a simple, like when you're starting out. One of the things that another mistake that I made was I tried to do too much too fast. Different shirts, different colorways, hoodies, sweatshirts, crew necks, socks, all this different stuff, man. When I should have just picked 1 to 2 items, really just one item, and see if I can get the logo and the message out first, and just kind of keep pushing that. So if I sell out of one item, my first 100 shirts, I should just rinse, repeat, order some more, and keep selling out of that until people get tired of it, and then start slowly introducing stuff to the people who've kind of gone on and supported that item. So moving and doing too much too fast is really, really, really a bad idea. You're just going to end up stuck with a bunch of merch that you can't move because you haven't established your core customer base to see what it is that they like. Another mistake is not collecting customer data. I've had plenty of pop-up shops, so I've done a lot of pop-up shops, and I was so focused on selling merch. I want to sell out merch. I want to sell out. I don't want to bring any of that stuff back home with me, and I maybe had really good day in sales, but I didn't capture any of my customer data. So if people are at a pop-up shop and they don't really know you and they are making a decision to spend their hard-earned money with you, you definitely want to get their information because that is your target customer. And you want to be able to rinse and repeat with them, especially if they're coming and buying multiple items. They really, really like your stuff, so they would love to be in contact with you and know how to purchase more. And you like to think that they would just take the card and they'll keep it with them forever and that they'll go online and purchase when they think about you, but that's just not the case. But if you can capture their data, their email address or phone number, then you can definitely reach out to them as you get new items, and you can have a forever customer based on one pop-up shop. So looking forward to it. I have a pop up shop in Houston, Texas in October that I'm looking forward to doing. And although I do want to sell out, I do want to do really well. I definitely want to make some money for the brand for sure. But my focus and the emphasis is going to be on capturing customer data. So I would rather capture 1,000 email addresses opposed to sell 1,000 items. I've just learned long term that capturing customer data and building your tribe of ideal customers is priority, and it's just going to it's just going to propel your business. So that's definitely one of my goals is to definitely capture customer data. So you can use different. They got platforms like Clavio, PostScript for capturing text messages, being able to send out text message blasts, Mailchimp for capturing email addresses. Any of these platforms are good. They all have most of them have like a free option that you can use, and you can kind of start with that. And as you grow your list, then you can go ahead and start subscribe. The name of the game initially is keep your costs really, really low. I don't know why this is doing this. There we go. There you go. Definitely let me know where you're streaming from in the chat. What else? First question, I guess. What are some of your favorite streetwear brands that you actually like to wear? There's so many out there now, and there's so many people doing really, really big things. But I do like to get on the chat and find out what brands that people like to wear, or even what are your favorite Christian streetwear brands? Do you have a favorite streetwear brand or clothing that you like to wear? Welcome to the stream. Thanks for tuning in. We're talking about building brands, entrepreneurship, marketing, letting y'all know how I started my brand, the mistakes that I've made, all that good stuff. So, any questions that you have for me, let me know in the chat. I have no problem answering your questions. Another set of challenges that we kind of run into now is that you have to now deal with, depending on where your manufacturer is, you have to now deal with the tariffs and all that stuff. That stuff is nothing to play with either, because it adds to the expenses. Sometimes you have to raise the price for your client, and that's never any fun. And that's never any fun at all. So definitely want to keep costs as low. Figuring out, I kind of know how much my target market likes to spend, and so I try not to go above that, because I do appreciate people shopping with me, and I definitely don't like overcharging people. There's a customer texting me now. We can move on to the next venture. So one of the other things that I've been working on for the last several months is HypeHunt, HypeHunt.app. So this is a piece of technology to ensure that you never have to miss another sneaker drop again. So here, if you say you want these shoes right over here, I know this may not be a sneaker that sells out. So, but it's just an example. Say that this sold out sneaker here, right? And this is one of the hottest releases of the year, and you don't want to miss out on it. You come right here to the HypeHunt platform. You put in the exact sneaker that you want, and it sends you a notification via email and via text, depending on which package that you choose, and you'll get a notification right to your phone with the link, and you can usually you'll be able to jump ahead of people and grab that sneaker ahead of everybody else. So, what exactly is HypeHunt? This isn't a bot or anything like that. It's not as expensive as a bot. So, it's an instant restock alert. You'll be able to do legit check on shoes. So, somebody trying to sell you sneakers, you'll be able to do a legit check from it. You'll get insight from the market about shoes. It is built for humans and not bots. Who's it for? It's for collectors, resellers, casual sneaker fans. This is hypehunt.app. You can come right here actually, and you can get on the early access list. You're going to put your name, your email, phone number, make up a password. You can join early access there. And then you can get notified when we launch. Just come right here, put your email address in, and then you can select who you are. Are you a collector or you're a reseller, or do you do both? So come there, you'll get notified. Definitely join our early access list. Y'all will be on the first ones when the app launches. You'll be notified, and you'll be able to you'll have access to that application before anybody else in the world. So that's coming out later this year, so you definitely don't want to miss that. So here it says, why is HypeHunt different? Most Discord groups, they're full of a lot of people, cook groups. There's no delays in the signal. So the Discord group may put on notice that a sneaker is restocked, but HypeHunt sends you a text message right to your phone. And you'll also be able to, when you go to sneaker shows and all that stuff, if you go to those conferences and conventions, you can do legit checks right through this platform. It's going to be a subscription-based service, so there'll be three different packages for you to choose from. But you definitely want to go ahead and lock in and get your early access. So you just want to go to hypehunt.app. I've just noticed, like, one of the models that I'm trying to get into, this is called the SaaS method, subscription as a service. And so that's what this software is, hypehunt.app. So it'll be a subscription-based service, monthly, really, really low monthly subscription that you'll pay, and you'll have access to the platform whenever you want, 24 hours a day. So this is better than any one of these platforms that you see out there. It's totally different. Not a lot of them have legit checks. Not a lot of them give you market insights. It's going to be instant. So as soon as the sites, it's going to search websites for the restock, and as soon as they're notified, it's going to send a notification. When you're dealing with bots, one of the problems with bots is those, like, sneakers apps and Nike, all of those platforms that release a lot of the rare sneakers, they shut down and they kick bots out. So the website is always changing. The bots are always having to keep up. The technology that we use, we don't have to worry about getting kicked out of platforms like bots are. So you definitely want to use HypeHunt if you want all of your notifications. They'll be sent right to your phone. So definitely come right here. Never miss another sneaker drop again. You definitely want to do the early access list. Get your early access with your password, phone, and all that information. Any comments that you may have about the platform, things that you wanted to do, things you don't want it to do, put right there in the comments. We do read those. And then come here, get notified, put your email address, collector, reseller, or both. Last name, top YouTube. YouTube, man, is sort of it's a super powerful platform. It's one of those things that I had in high school, and I wish I honestly would have stuck with it. I think the issue with my YouTube primarily is I have a lot of different parts going on. So I do some public speaking, do podcasts, I produce shorts, different playlists. Podcasts. I do a few posts here. Got my banner going here to kind of let people know what it is exactly that I do, who I am, number of subscribers. Got my bio and description here. Got my links to the clothing brand here. This is my personal website here. I do have a personal website as well. We can go check that out. Here, just a little bit about myself. Different pictures here. Serve, lead, teach, encourage. That's my motto. Hang in touch with me. The merch page, of course. Let's go back. Some of the other business that we do. Ran the 360 photo booth there. And this is the outline to the podcast page here. And then this takes you to all of my socials. Here you can kind of view all of my social medias at Randy C. Mays. And don't let you get too far on that. I think it's important to let people know how they can find you. It looks like it says I joined. It lets people know all the different ways they can kind of find you, what it is that you do. YouTube seems to try to like put you in a box. Like it seems like I know more people have multiple YouTube pages for the different things that they do. I was advised that I should have one for Jesus, my plug. I should have one for my podcast, and I should have one for my videos. But that's a lot of work. So I'm not really interested in having 3 separate pages. That just seems to be too much work for me. But I get how it works for YouTube though, because YouTube takes all of your videos and takes your tag and it tries to put you in the box to push you in front of the right audience. So if you have 3 different audiences, YouTube kind of doesn't know where to place you, so you just kind of end up getting stuck somewhere in the algorithm. So I get it. I get what they're doing, but I don't. That's too much. Yeah, it's too much work for me. So not really interested in having the 3 separate pages. Literally at all. But it's been interesting navigating it though. I do have another page that I won't post it here because I do have a faceless YouTube page that I've been working on, and I've kind of been testing out some of the theories, like trying out different thumbnails and changing the description and changing the title. And I have seen how vital and important that is when you are posting on YouTube. So this one here, for instance, is not really the best thumbnail. So it said 45 views. If I were to invest and give me a new thumbnail with a better picture of myself on there, maybe smiling or something like that, there's a good chance, or change the title, there's a good chance that I could get this to go up some more. But that's just something that I'll have to work on. So thumbnails do matter. Let's see what we got. Thanks for those who tuned into the stream so far. I don't take you for granted. Let's go back. Some of these I haven't watched in a while. Let's see. What was one of my favorite? Oh, this is definitely one of my favorite recent videos.
Still I'm saying it out loud. Be my Valentine. Every ordinary Tuesday, every late July. Not just roses on a table for a single night. Stay when the candles drown in daylight. Be my Valentine. When the dishes pile up and we're tired of the fight. When the rain soaks through and the plans aren't right. Love me then, be my Valentine. Still I'm saying it out loud.
And if you look at the whole Bible, men have 50 plus unique responsibilities while women have around 20. YouTube, if a woman speaks up and expresses herself, welcome to the stream. It's called good. If a man taps into what his emotions and speaks up, he called sassy. If a man leaves a man,
Still I'm saying,
there's nowhere in the text where we see that Gideon has fought any battles. God called Gideon by what his destiny was and not his present positioning. Valiant warrior, man of valor, mighty warrior. Gideon was called warrior long before he fought a battle. What has God called you
This was like one
that
of my
you aren't
first YouTube
acting like
lives that
it?
I did.
Remember, Gideon was called valiant warrior before we know how the story ends. We've heard the story a million times. We know how the story ends. But he's called valiant warrior before he fought the battle. He's hiding from an enemy that wasn't even really attacking him like talking about. They weren't having to fight these people. They were just coming after their stuff. But God calls him valiant warrior.
One of the strategies that I was able to like achieve there, like that I appreciate. So from the live, I took the whole live video, I sent it to my editor, and just really had him
I
make
gotta call.
me a bunch of different.
There's nowhere in
clips,
the text.
from the live. So
I got a call from one of my guys, and he's like, "Hey, Sarge, do you mind driving by this apartment complex?" My dad, I thought he was being nosy. My dad says, "Well, where you gonna be at?" So I gave him address, told him where I was gonna be. I didn't think anything of it. So I turned the corner, and lo and behold, I see my suspect. I see the car backed in. He's in it. I turn back around real quick. He's out of the car. He's trying to run into an apartment. I slowly I get on my police radio, and I call for backup from the department that I worked for. When a few seconds later, a squad car from the agency that my dad works for is pulling towards me. And I see that my father had just showed up.
oh yeah.
I got a call from one of my guys. People drag their burdens, their struggles, their cycles all down to this altar, looking for just a little relief to make it by. But the goal should have never been, when they headed down to that altar, to just get relief for Sunday morning to make it to Monday. The goal should have been deliverance. The goal should have been to enter into his presence. The altar is always open. Yes, I get it. And you should use the altar, never abuse the altar. But coming to the altar should be a mindset. You should make a conscious decision right here between the ears that you refuse to go back home the same way that you came. Because the Bible, biblically, the altar was never created to just hold anything. It wasn't designed to babysit things that you were not willing to confront. It was designed to burn what needs to die. Submit.
Some people are just not friendship or marriage.
Submission. Everybody wants to talk about submission within the confines of marriage, but let me ask you this. If he has to show you that he's able to provide while dating, shouldn't she also show she can submit while dating? Let's talk about it.
Some people.
Submission. Everybody wants to talk about submission within the confines of marriage, but let me ask you.
Oops. Where is it at? Yeah, man. People's in the comments. They was
Submission. Everybody wants to talk about submission.
Some people.
Submission. Everybody wants.
There we go.
Submission. Everybody wants to talk about submission within.
Yeah, they was mad about this, and you can't talk submission in the church. She never responded to me here. How do you define submission? Because respect is the foundation, man. Some submissive or not. Respect can't be the real definition. Yeah, she never replied to that one. Yeah, definitely on Instagram. They definitely had them hot. Yeah, boy, they were hot about that. Submission in church, like that. They be hot about that. What is it? So earlier today, when I was at the lounge with one of my friends, man, he asked me, he's like, "What's your ultimate goal for the brand?"
I ultimately would love to turn this from a hobby. I would actually like to turn this into full-time employment one day. I would love to work for myself and do pop-up shops and go around teaching about entrepreneurship, as well as letting people know about the brand. And always, of course, primary goal is to always spread the gospel of Jesus Christ. So, man, if I could do all three of those, if I could spread the love of Jesus Christ, let people know about the brand, and educate people on entrepreneurship, if I could do all three of those through this brand, man, I think that would be a huge blessing. And I believe that God will allow me to do it one day. It's going to be a matter of me staying consistent, educating myself, learning more about business, learning more about branding, marketing, and all this stuff, and just kind of going from there. But I definitely got to figure it out. So, definitely got to figure it all out. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. Let me know where you're streaming from. We talking all things marketing, entrepreneurship, and branding. So let me know your favorite streetwear brand in the chat. Let me know where you're streaming from. This is my clothing brand here. G's my plug. Christian Streetwear. I was just kind of educating everyone kind of on how the brand started, how to start a brand, talking about the mission and do's and don'ts and mistakes that I've made. So appreciate you for tuning in, chat. I'm gonna go. We've been going about 42 minutes strong. Appreciate you for tuning in. And we are out.